Hello, everybody. You got the Arm Boys bringing out. It's Arm Day, and Jorge and I, Justin and Jorge, are here bringing all the arm energy, like twin octopi out here, bringing every tentacle we can. Welcome to Characters. Welcome. How are you doing, Jorge? Me and my hat, you and your hair hat. We are here and ready to play.
We're here, ready to go. I'm truly thrown for a loop with the octopus thing.
Yeah,
because we are on the internet, and the internet is famous for octopus related content.
really. I've never really broached that. Is that something I should Google quickly?
Yeah, no, you should. You absolutely should. Just like tentacle, and then
tentacle?
let Google autofill the rest of it. Yeah.
Nice. AI, show me tentacle.
Show me
Yeah. David Birch in the comments. Where are the characters? Bringing the heat. David, welcome. We get like to sort of set the stage a little bit and be humans before we heighten into characters real quickly. We got tax fraud, very topical since tax season is just ending. Saying hello, hi. We got Secor Zeppelin. My birthday is the 10th. Shouts 3 days.
Hello. Ooh, okay.
Very cool. Very cool.
Schroekler's was Monday.
Oh, Schroekler. Interesting. Wow.
Happy belated Schroekler.
Happy birthday to Schroekler. Jorge, when's your birthday, and are you celebrating anything?
And my social, my full address.
Yeah, one of us the hospital you were born in. I just want to get that tiny Jorge footprint. Want to go dig through the records.
Did you have like the little stone or like the little plaster like cast of your little baby feet? Did your parents do that?
I don't think that was fashionable when I was born. It was just I was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
No fucking way. How did I not know that about you?
I don't know. It's funny. As soon as I was about to say it, I was like, "Oh shit! I should have told this to Jorge as one of my brother." I lived in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale area, for the first 6 years of my life.
Wow, really?
That's why. Yeah, I'm a Florida boy at my core. Upstate New York skin.
You've got big Florida guy energy.
Yeah, like too much all the time.
I don't think I ever got like the little plaster cast, but I think I may have gotten like the porcelain baby shoes.
Oh, because very fancy. Because you were a doll that was brought to life.
That was a doll that came to life.
You're a Pinocchio. The Pinocchio lineage.
Yeah, there was at good old Florida Hospital East. That's where I was born, which doesn't exist anymore.
Got shut down. Too good. It was too good of a hospital.
It got bought out because that's what happens in America, in Florida, in Central Florida. 2 hospitals. Yeah, they just get bought.
It's hospital. Shame if I bought it and turned it into a roller rink.
A roller rink. I think it's still just another hospital with a better name or like a bigger name.
See, back when I was, not to like old myself real quick, but when I was born, especially, I'll never say. No, I'm 45. The Florida hospital, I think they just like half dipped my feet in ink and then smashed them into it looks like a dirty piece of cardboard. It's like the ink is running. It's crazy how they're like, who cares?
Whatever. It's like nobody will use this as a legal document ever. And pretty soon that's how you're gonna prove that you're a human rather than an AI.
Yes, that's my real ID, is my baby footprint. I think that's enough to pass that little test that they're making for us. I mean, I'll tell you what, I was recently out of the country, flew back from Rome because I was there for some papal shenanigans, as I'm calling them. The line to get back is hard to get into this country. And I'll tell you what, they let, and I don't know if this is how it always went down, but they truly let anyone with an American passport through first. And then and only then did they start dealing with all the people from 3 flights arrived at the same time who had non-American passports. I was like, this is fucked up. These people are going to be here for 3 or 4 hours.
Holy shit. So do they just literally say like over the loudspeaker, like if you have an American passport, like right this way?
Literally, everyone was in line, and they came, and most of the flight was international people because it was coming from Italy. Right. A woman came around the corner and was like, hey, Anybody with an American passport, get up here. You're not reading the signs. I was like, lady.
I love how
Quit yelling at
this
me.
lady sounds like the most non-Italian lady. Very American.
Yes, extreme American. I think she was the nurse that slapped my ass in Florida right after I was born.
That is insane. No, I've never had that experience where they're just like, American, right this way. It's always just been like everybody into this deluge of a line. And then
That's what I thought.
pro tip for anybody coming in, there's that app or the declaration app or whatever that you can do while you're in line, and then just like once you're done and submitted, cut to the front. It's how Jesus would have wanted. Who you met
really
in
I did meet Jesus. It was really nice. He's pretty chill.
He's a pretty chill dude.
No one talks about it, but the Vatican, Jesus is like hangs out pretty loose there.
He's just like he's hanging out. I want to get to some of these comments real fast, especially this one from David Birch saying, "I also want to say how criminally underrated this channel, especially after seeing the talent that goes up on the channel." Thanks.
Pour that into my ear because I want to hear that all day long. Like that's why we do this live stream, is to scoop up. It's a little compliment alley for us. Thank you, David Birch.
I'm loving just Data seeing my Metal Gear Solid shirt.
Solid Metal Gear Solid shirt.
It's a great shirt. It's just the I
like that. That's Metal Gear. Great game in all its iterations, even the old school ones. But the font that they made for that game is very sick.
It's so good. It's so
like Blade Runner, but it's really awesome.
Also want to point out, Brandon, Metal Gear. Thank you, everybody. I did do I should put this up on my Instagram at some point for Josh Nasser's Trash King show, which is monthly at UCB. I think in February I did 2 Metal Gear Solid characters. I did one because it's a bit show where it's like a very loose tournament where you're either trash, which is a good thing, or SNL, which is technically a bad thing in the context. And so the first character was just Solid Snake working at a KFC drive-thru. And then that just served the purpose to Metal Gear Solid fans will know there's that video clip from I think Metal Gear Solid 4 where it's that character Quiet, who's almost fully naked, just romping around in like puddles of rainwater for a solid 3.5 minutes. And so I recreated that shot for shot while it was up on screen in a 100% accurate costume.
Wow, Jorge, this is
the most fun.
That's elevating our guy to Shakespearean.
Shakespeare, it was incredible. I made that stage so wet and slipped so.
What's his name? Solid Snake.
Okay. In Metal Gear Solid 4, it's not actually Solid Snake. See, it's a whole different character because you've got like Snake and Solid Snake. You've got Solidus Snake, Liquid Snake, and then is there a Gas Snake? Sort of.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like you.
David knows. Here we go.
Yes, David Birch is early. And so when does your TED Talk about that come out? Pretty soon, it sounds like.
God, I'm truly getting the notes ready, and it is just the thickest stack in the timeline.
Real quick, let me run through some of these Rome questions. You take a selfie with the Pope. I did not. I did attend the Pope's funeral. I was at the procession where his Pope mobile with his casket.
Wait, were you really?
I was. I mean, I was in a crowd of 250,000 people, but I was there.
Right, sure, but you were there.
I was literally there in the Vatican. That Vatican, wild place. A lot of statues that look like they are moving. They could move at any moment and come alive to fight you or kill you.
In the Discord, we were talking about Doctor Who, and so that those two things sound like Doctor Who heads know exactly what I'm talking about with the scariest statues you've ever seen.
Yes,
please continue.
This has that. Shoiklo, you can lift up the body to take a weekend at Francis's selfie. Yes, very close. I saw Francis's tomb, which is in this other basilica, which is very simple. Dude was just ice cold to the core. The lot of wine. Everyone drinks wine all the time there. Because of the project I was working on, I was around a lot of Catholics, so they're like they love that red stuff.
Yeah, they love a good blood, a good Jesus blood.
They love a good Jesus blood.
They love.
We got Jay. I made that stage so at Jorge 2025. Important to give us the date. Because I will say he has said that every year. So we got to make sure we're tracking it. Brandon S., remember when that guy called the Trump assassination attempt on the same day? Shouts. That did happen. Shouts to Graham Tackler. Check out that piece, which is, I think we do have some podcast content coming for y'all soon. We will be fully announcing that in the next couple weeks. But we definitely get the full breadth of that story from the man who created it, which is good.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Justin's t-shirt looks like something a cartoon character wears. Yes, I made this shirt and have entered it into main rotation. This is when I played Andrew Nice Clay, when I didn't know what a portmanteau was. But I learned quickly because now that's what I do. You know what? Let's take David. What's that?
No, I was the 3 other hosts for that show just fully roasted you for like 5 minutes before and after the piece.
Yes. Fine. That's fine. That's what I'm here for. I don't mind being the butt. I like to be the butt. I'm all butt. I have
Jake,
a big
can we
butt.
quote that?
Yeah. Clip that screenshot. But let's kick it off. Let's get to the characters. As David Birch said when he entered the channel, let's get into the rectangles. Let me pull up the elements here because it's game time. It's characters welcome. Let's welcome some characters. I'm very excited for our number one boy coming out. And I feel like the topicality of what we were just talking about is wild. It is wild what we're hitting right now, and I'm here for it. Please welcome out to the rectangles a guy who recently met God.
Whoa!
Hello, Pastor Bryant and congregation. I want to thank you for having me. I'm really blessed to be alive and share my story with the 100 in attendance and the millions worshiping online. Sorry, I'm not really good at this public speaking thing. But if you are inspired by what you hear today, there will be books available in the sanctuary. Well, last month, paramedics found my body in a parked car and no oxygen had reached my brain for about 26 minutes. I was pronounced dead at the scene, but what they didn't know is while my body was dead, my spirit went to heaven and I met God. And it was a miracle when I woke up in the ambulance in a body bag. The Lord sent me back to spread his message to the world. Oh, how did I die? Well, I was tightening a belt around my neck while fucking a burrito so hard I had a breakdown. Meeting God started amazing. A question? Yeah, sure. Yes, 6-layer chicken cantina burrito. No, there's one across town. Yeah, the KFC banned me for taking food into the bathroom. Sorry if that was too much. I thought you wanted the full story. So my soul was pulled into heaven in this holy light, and I saw this big welcoming line. You know, my family, we used to Soul Train dance, so they were all my relatives there Soul Train dancing, and I walked over to see my grandmother. I haven't seen her in about 15 years. I saw her arms, and I felt the touch of God on my shoulder, and he said, "Hey, are you the jack-off burrito guy?" And he pulled me closer and said, "Does that actually work?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, most of the time." And then God was like, "LOL, oh, right." And then God said, like, I had to meet the legend who died jacking it into a fast Mexican food on his lunch break in a Taco Bell cantina parking lot. And immediately I did feel shame. I did. I told God I was sorry, and he says, "Sorry? Dude, I gave you free will so you could do stuff like that." I said, "Really? I thought religion was about worship, just like pastor, just like you were saying in your sermon earlier." But God was like, said he has so many worship guys. And he said, quote, I need people to do crazy stuff like choke on cow skin and bust into a chalupa supreme. You did both. Sorry, I'm no good at it. And then God said, he said I didn't even come, so it wasn't even a sin. And the crazy thing is, he said like they used to count lifetime sins, but now they only count if the last thing you did was good or bad. And I dropped some change into the Taco Bell charity thing, so I guess my karma was like up. So then God showed me my body, and it was real touching to know that there is a heaven. Your spirit is separate from your body and your earthly possessions. And as we looked down upon my body in the car, a squirrel came through the moonroof and started nibbling on the burrito. And God and me were like, no way. And that's when St. Peter popped in and was like, hey, do you guys see that squirrel thing I did? And we were like, that was you? Whoa. So I guess even if I did bust, feeding that squirrel would have put me like even higher. Well, we tapped and it was like, boom. So, Pastor, all that's to say that I think my use of free will impressed God so much that he sent me back from heaven to spread the good word. Question. Oh, yeah. What is the good word? Well, I don't know. He kind of explained it like this. He said, a lot of people do things that hurt other people, maybe out of self-loathing or ignorance, or even worse, because they think it's what God wants. And when people start to weaponize beliefs, maybe that's the time to take a step back, hop into your mom's Kia Sportage, get a warm burrito, and experience some free will. It's like the meaning of life is living life. Oh, I guess I did meet someone else in heaven. So Pope Francis knocked on the gate, but it was weird because God dove behind his desk and started whispering, I'm not here, I'm not here, I'm not here. And I was like, huh? And God was like, dude, that guy's going to want to talk about work. Just tell him I'm gone. So, Pastor, I know you're the one that talks for God. I'm not questioning that, but a lot of your congregation might sin, come in and rinse and repeat. But to me, God in heaven was like that summer before college when all you and your friends know this is the last moment you're going to share together. And the world's not going to guilt us for having a little fun. It was such a beautiful place to finally feel at peace and ready to come home until I was ready to be sent back. And then God was like, hey, we got to run an errand real quick. So he hugged me, we flew into the clouds, and above the clouds, he took me to a Marshall's to help him pick out a belt. I'm just telling you what happened. Yes, there's Marshalls up there. There was a Hot Topic too, but he really was set on Marshalls. So we got the belt at Marshalls, and we stopped at Taco Bell, and God got one of each thing on the menu, and he got a little weird. He was like, hey, I come in many forms. And I was like, haha, yeah, God, it's kind of funny, but I'm kind of ready to go back now. And then he took us to Purgatory because it's the only place with no cameras, and God was like, spot me! And he made the belt big, and he tightened it so hard that he's the only person that could undo it. I was kind of ready to come back. Anyway, I wrote a book about it. I died and went to heaven, but it was a crazy way of jerking off, so he sent me back. So I hope you can be inspired by my book, A Billion Burritos, a Christian Cookbook. And you can take a bit of the Lord home with you. And if it's okay, I would like to let everyone go in song. Live Mars.
Yes, Agent Tesvic-Yorgis bringing us topicality, the likes of which we've never seen.
So good, dude.
You got Jay going off in the comments.
Yeah.
Wanting a full recording of this. You were skipping a little bit with your Wi-Fi, but where the page is ready for it. We need it.
I think that was the devil trying to keep you down, dude.
Exactly.
I think that's what it was. The devil's like, no, the whole wrap around the throat thing. It's me. It's me.
The level of detail on that, really, I feel like you could in another time, like around like 0, think you could have been a Jesus figuration because the
You think
detail
so?
you're bringing there, yeah,
Yeah.
it feels very real.
Just
Telling
some
you.
near-death experiences that I'm channeling to get the truth out of that piece.
I was going to ask, what do you know? What are you hiding?
Well, you know what? I'm a little worried about. I'm doing the show on the show next week, the live show. I'm a little worried because my brother's pretty religious. He's not gonna like this piece. He's not gonna be really upset.
No.
When this hits the internet, he's gonna be like, "Dude, we have to talk. I have to talk to you.
We've got to talk.
We gotta talk."
Well, you practice your art. You can't let the other beliefs, and maybe your brother can have a religious experience through this piece and have a new relationship with the Lord.
Yeah.
Or with themselves.
Or with Taco Bell, with Yo Quiero Jesus.
Yo quiero Jesus.
Red asks, what part do you think will upset him the most? Great question.
Great question.
Probably. Actually, I didn't mean specifically. I try to make this like not religion specific, just like a god, and it does follow the tropes of like Christianity.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we're pretty aware of what God we're talking about. I'm not dropping in like Vishnu is popping in.
Yes.
I think if I said like Jesus or Yeshua or like any more specific figures, then it seemed like it was a negative thing. But I have that South Park moment in there. That's to me like the bit of truth in this of like, yeah, live a good life, don't hurt other people. Let's stay high level and not drill into the thing. But then, yeah, when I do mention the Pope, that is pretty Catholic specific.
Yeah, big time. I feel like you get very spot on specific. Jay says, "Friend, I'm pretty religious, and I have to say, I think God approves."
And I love this little addendum because it is the internet and there is no subtext. Just strictly not parasocial usage of friend. Of course, I want to be respectful. Just got excited. No, disrespect us respectfully.
Yeah, we're all friends here. Call him it's not disrespect to be called a friend,
right?
I don't think.
Yeah,
friends.
The note I got yesterday on this is like to really be grounded, and I'm glad that came off well. Of like, cool. Here, glasses. I can play with the glasses a little bit, nervous hand stuff, but
great glasses, by the way. Just great choice overall.
Oh, thank you. I got another 2 pairs.
Yeah. Oh, look at wow! You really
one of them is a man who just wrote a book on a religious experience. The other one is youth pastor who's about to do the exact same.
Yeah.
I actually so while y'all were doing warm up and talking to each other, so I walked out to get this cookbook from the living room, and my wife was like, "Ooh, baby, you look so professional. You should dress like that more often." And then I was like,
she's like, "Wait to hear what I'm about to say to the internet."
And then her and my sister, they had a good laugh when they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember what you're about to do." Never mind.
Oh, they knew the piece. They know.
I picked up my sister and my wife and I, like the three of us drove my sister around. They're like, "What show do you have tonight?" I said, "I'm working on a new character. It's a guy has an after-death experience, but he was asphyxiating while masturbating into a burrito, and so it's him telling his story." Both fucked a burrito. Yeah, what do me and my wife and my sister have in common? We all fucked a burrito.
Yeah,
I think David meant the glasses, but no, that too.
He's talking about the two different characters, but I like where you took that.
Can I rescind time? Can I rescind time? Can go back? Yeah. Can we rewind? Can we cut that?
You're gonna spend your mulligan, your time mulligan on that.
Yeah.
We all only get one.
You only get one. Dejan, what else is going on with you? Obviously, you are on the character house team, which you're preparing this piece for.
Yeah, so we have a Betty show next Wednesday. My YouTube channel right below. Thanks for dropping that link, Jorge.
Of course.
I post new sketches there. I got a bunch of traffic from Black Tariffs that went up last month.
Great piece, dude.
Good piece, dude.
Thank you. Thank you. So a bunch of y'all have joined me from there to my.
If you haven't checked out that piece on our YouTube channel, please check it out, and then obviously track it back to Dejan's channel. Great piece. People love that piece on the internet.
Thank you, and I've gotten $86 from it from the QR code joke. So
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. When you love it when a joke comes together.
It really did feel like how John Oliver last week tonight they'll actually implement the thing. They bought up a bunch of medical debt and erased it for people. They have like these interactive things that don't feel forced, and it did feel like, oh my god, people are giving me money. This is great.
It's great. You're like the John Oliver of fucking a burrito, and that's not something I say lightly.
That's huge. Yeah. No, that's truly the highest praise that we can give here at Characters Welcome.
Yo Kiro appreciation.
Yeah.
Appreciation.
Really good.
YouTube channel. I'm posting new stuff. If you're around Brooklyn, I'll be at Caveat for the Immigrant Jam. I think that's June 6th.
Oh, nice. That's such a good show.
Set there. Yeah, it's a fun show.
It's a show by Lucy Pohl, who voices Mercy in Overwatch. She does a monthly show at Caveat called Immigrant Jam, and she's a great voice actor. She's also a great person.
Awesome. I'd love to connect with her on animation stuff.
Yeah.
Besides that, I'm finishing a Rick and Morty spec. I can't show the world yet, but
what?
Okay.
Writing samples.
Is this Rick and Morty spec the direct result of all of your hard work on Sesame Street?
No, I would say Blue's Clues Training Day is the direct work of my work on Sesame Street.
Yep.
Blue's Clues Training Day spec script?
No, so I wrote basically a Blue's Clues episode, but hosted by a corrupt cop instead of Steve, and that's on my YouTube channel. I think it's called Blues Clues Training Day. That was a fun one last year.
Very fun.
Dejan, awesome. You've got a new sub.
Yeah, you got a couple, I think, on here. So shout out.
I'll check my analytics and I will shout y'all out. I appreciate it. Stuff every week.
Check those analytics, my guy. Dejan, hang out. Go if you have to go.
I'm hanging out.
He's hanging out. Great. Let's jump into. We do have a couple quick things to get to. Obviously, we can't pay Jorge with our my homemade T-shirts. That doesn't pay the bills. And I don't have a QR code like Dejan that he's cashing in on. So if you want to send us some cash to help support how we keep these rectangles popping, hit us up at our business Venmo. Anything you write in the comments, we will read aloud right here on the show. We have a couple to read right now. Love to hear it. One from Carly Zeisler. I'm in final report hell, but at least there's comedy. Shouts to Carly, long-time watcher. Thanks, Carly, for sending the bucks. Good luck on that final. It is that time of year when we get out of the education mode and get into the dumb mode.
Dumb mode.
Let's go. Let's get summer dumb, gang.
Mode.
Summer dumb. That's. I've never thought of that before. That's a good vibe.
Summer dumb.
Carly in the comments. Carly, I thought you meant you were going to be here, but you are here, procrastinating so bad. Got you.
Hell yeah, brother.
And let's hit a recurring segment that we always love to do. It is, of course, time for Stoner Thoughts.
Stoner Thoughts, man.
I love seeing it. You do that live, Jorge, on the screen. It's very good. Here it is. Trolley Ticket Stoner Thoughts. For my birthday with my boyfriend, we're going to watch The Holy Mountain by Alejandro Jodorowsky. Yikes. Intense. I've seen the film. He hasn't. It's gonna get weird. Yes, it is. Wow. I love it. I love this stoner thought because it is literally a pre-stoner thought anticipating a very stoner situation. So shouts to that. If you've never seen A Holy Mountain, it is watching it feels like you're tripping. So to add a chemical element, I think you're going to be fully on a journey.
1973 film?
Yes. wild. There's a Jodorowsky. If you've never checked out any of his work, is an interesting person. There was a documentary I want to say from 5-ish years ago called Jodorowsky's Dune, which was wild because he was working on making Dune back before it all became what it was by David Lynch, and then now, of course, the recent incarnation. So definitely check that out if you're into tripped out shit. But speaking of tripped out shit, let's welcome out our next character. What do you say, lads?
I think it's a pretty good idea. That's a pretty good idea.
Great.
Great. As I scroll up the email chain, great.
That's all right.
Great.
I can do it. And let's keep it on. Let's keep it on. Good. Let's keep it on trend here because certainly there's just a religious whiff in the air. And welcome out to the rectangles, the devil.
Whoa!
Schönes Mädchen, komm doch mal rüber. Schönes Mädchen, lass mich nie wieder. Komm schon, schönes Mädchen, komm doch mal her. Schönes Mädchen, lass mich nicht mehr.
Good evening, mortals. I go by many names: Beelzebub, Satan, Chris Pratt, Elon Musk botched penis surgeon, and of course the devil. Wow, what a year I've had so far, right? Wow! Not to take a victory lap, but God, and I don't say this lightly, damn, I've been crushing it, right? Trump, tariffs, basically everything else, the end of the Choco Taco, all me. Good luck finding a taco that's Choco, losers. I know you like them. And he's not here because he's off doing something else, but shout out to my guy Eric, one of my favorite young vassals. You all know Eric was riding with the devil, right? Come on. That guy doesn't have a credit card? Yeah. He did some stuff, blood stuff, pentagrams. He reversed a mermaid, for God's sakes. And he keeps pushing that Honeycrisp apple shit too, my guy, because that fruit is evil. The apple I used to tempt Eve, oh, that shit was a Honeycrisp. You can guarantee that. And Jorge, yup, you don't get hair like that without giving up some soul, baby. Am I right? Shout out to my guy with his hair hat, devil. Dajin, devil, he's fucking a burrito. Anyway, I just popped up in this live stream because I needed a little human help, a little focus group here. I've been getting so many big W's that it's leaving me a little short on bad guy stuff to do. I need to freshen up the old tickaloos, you know? So second order soul earnings, not great. So I've had to lower myself to some pretty lame evil. I'm the Prince of Darkness for Antichrist's sake. But you know what evil I did this week? I got one of the Try Guys to cheat on his wife. Barf, come on. I tempted Judas into a pretty fucked up supper situation, and now it's taken me 6 months to get one of the Try Guys to dry hump a coworker on the foosball table in their giant complex in Texas. Come on, Satan. You can do better than this. So I made a list of some other evil I'm trying to do to get back on track. So sidebar, a list is truly the most evil way to say stuff. And I approve of any host leading into lists as his sort of whole thing. So let me hit this. Okay. What if I made all beer pumpkin? No, that's too fucked up. Okay. How about I bring that old Pope back to life, but he's inside out? Or I flip it so his mouth is his butt and his butt in his mouth. So he ends each meeting by pooping out of his face into his big old hat. Something to think about. What if I let Ryan Reynolds do whatever he wants in pop culture? No consequences for that guy. Oh, sorry. I'm actually already doing that. My bad. Okay, this is a good one. What if I made all the stuff you want to do bad for you and all the stuff that's good for you straight up suck? Like how fettuccine Alfredo tastes so good, but it legitimately takes years off your life if you take even one bite of it. Or like how quinoa is good for you, but it's like eating bugs. Like people try to dress it up, but quinoa looks, smells, and tastes like you're eating a handful of ladybugs. Am I right? That's some delicious evil. I'm doing that one. Okay, this was good market testing. Tell Eric I'll see him at our weekly meeting in his shallow bathtub. And anyone who's listening, I just changed your mute button so it only works sometimes. So good luck farting on your next work soon. Devil out.
Yeah.
The devil, ladies and gentlemen.
The devil himself.
Wah, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba,
Do you have a voice effect on?
ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Wow.
Nope. Just 4 years of music theory and ear training.
Let's end all of our pieces that way.
If we can change the for rent sign with Taco Bell, we've truly made it.
Yes, that's what we want.
That's what we want.
That's what we want. A little Taco Bell or any taco place.
Did you write this with Eric in mind, hoping he would be here? Couple nods.
This is from I wrote this. I think I did this once on the channel, like on the live stream, like literally 2 years ago. And then I was like, well, it's very topical with all the God stuff in the news, and I was just in the Vatican.
Yeah, which famously makes people think of the devil.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I don't hang out with a lot of deeply religious people, or if I do, we don't talk about it.
Right.
And then this job I was working on, I was around a lot of very religious people, and the devil comes. I mean, temptation comes up a lot. I mean, Catholicism is less about talking about an actual dude who's red coming after you, but
Yeah.
they do talk about it. Like it's very present. And like I'm not very religious, but the idea that every day you wake up and it's like, hope the devil doesn't come for me is crazy. What a wild! You're like a fantasy novel character.
You're in the trenches. You're on the front lines, stopping of blessing, the front blessing lines.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
You're one of God's fiercest warriors.
Yeah, and like maybe that's the extra juice. Like I would love that in my life if I was like, oh, today, yeah, I do have to write this script, but I also have to do battle against the forces of Satan for the sake of heaven is in the balance.
Yeah. Uh-oh. The devil is woke here from Bing Bong.
Yes, thank you, Bing Bong. Is this Bing Bong from the movie Inside Out? Because that's cool.
That is kind of cool. Or maybe it's Bing Bong, fuck your life. Also cool.
Yeah. Raisin Delta, if the devil comes for you, you'd hope he'd give you a courtesy warning. I agree. Give me 5 minutes.
Just a heads up, really.
Yeah. Bing Bong.
That's it. So I do imagine what like visual depictions of heaven and hell look like, and it's called the Garden of Earthly Delights. Like I imagine what they look like back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have a visual aid too to help in with the biblically accurate angels look like.
Yes. I've seen this pop up in other random places on the internet, and it's horrifying that we have that, and then other places are like, we're not a serious news organization. Spoiler. Other people are like, here's a real thing we're showing you.
A painting I studied in college. It's called the Garden of Earthly Delights.
Yeah, Bosch.
Yeah, it was like
Bosch.
I remember it's a triptych, it's like 3 paintings in one that folds open. I remember seeing it like, whoa, it's amazing how consistent hell has been since in the last 600 years.
Let's see if I can pull up the old Garden of Earthly.
Hieronymus, sick name. You name your kid Hieronymus, that dude is gonna be making a fucked up painting, a timelessly fucked up painting.
I wish we would go back to really cool, absurd names like Hieronymus.
I mean, we're there. I don't know how much time either of you have spent at a Brooklyn elementary school, but we got it.
Or watching the NFL draft.
Okay.
One of those will put you on a list.
Yeah. There's a Hieronymus Bosch. I think Bosch is a kicker, I think, on the Eagles season.
Yeah, it's got picked by the Steelers. Just got pulled up.
Hieronymus Bosch. University State.
University of Satan.
University of State.
Yeah. University of Earthly Delights.
Yeah.
Very fun. Yes, we have touched on such infernal things, but we do have we have one more character this evening that maybe we should bring out, who I don't think is going to touch on our good and evil, but you never quite know. You never quite know. Please welcome out a Canadian character show host. Who?
Schön, schönes Mädchen, komm doch mal rüber. Schönes Mädchen, lass mich nie wieder. Komm schon, schönes Mädchen, komm doch.
Hi there. I'm Tyler Justin. I'm not French Canadian, but but my name is. I'm the co-host of Vancouver's third most popular stage to stream, back to stage, but still in a stream. Character showcase. Welcome characters.
Oh no!
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow, just totally roasted.
Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific. That's 11 Eastern, except we use metric in Canada, which means Wednesday is Thursday, and the clocks only go to 10. So there's no 11.
There's no 12.
True. That's true.
My co-host and I, no, her name's not Feurer Eric. That would be silly. Her name is Erica, and she is French Canadian, so it's pronounced Erica Feurer.
Ooh,
We invite some of the best and brightest character comedians of Western Canada to perform short character sketches, just like here. And our performers bring everything yours do. Clever scripts, brilliant timing, props, costumes, hats, masks, hat mask combos I call hasks,
nice.
and universal health care. Oh, wait. That bruh. Once a month, Erica and I, along with Michelle Harnois and Sarah Smallwood,
Yeah.
she is an Anglican parson. How did you know? We host a live show in the basement of an old gym on the campus of the University of British Columbia. It's great that we're back at UBC since we started our show at their old East Campus. Now, of course, I don't just do the character show. I also host podcasts because who in comedy does it? You two? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. My friends, Lexley and Petra, and I, we all used to work hiring comedians for stand-up venues, so we started the Book Comics Club podcast.
Oh my god.
We also make podcasts reviewing Canadian TV shows, and I mean actual Canadian shows, not just US shows that are shot here, like The Boys. Shows like Murdoch Mysteries, Corner Gas, Mayor of East Edmonton, Dougie Lasso, Only Murders in New Brunswick, Depp, which is about a deputy prime minister, The Manitoban, about a man from Gillam who never takes his toque off and has to watch over a baby gremlin named Hoser, and 101 places to eat poutine before you die.
Great
Now,
stuff. Google that. Somebody Google that.
I heard you worked on the American version of that, which is so cool. I bet your show was a lot more successful than ours, which only lasted 13 episodes, bruh.
Oh my god.
Now-
Stone unturned for this guy.
I better go, because if I stay on too long, your government is going to charge you a tariff. Oh, see, I knew this was going to happen. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow, Tyler Hosteen, everybody.
Wow.
Played by the
Wow,
illustrious
wow, wow.
Kevin Wilcox. We know him as Scheukler. Just absolutely roasted top to bottom. A lot of people in the comments basically saying, wow, this is what Justin is like.
Mhm. Yeah, I can't believe we have two of you on stage right now.
Schweikler, can you put the
Oh,
hat
I
on?
forgot to do this.
Schweikler, put the hat on again and go like this. Because with your fisheye lens, it's the perfect.
It's an
like,
Avril
something-
Lavigne video.
Let me see the
Exactly.
fisheye lens.
He's just a skater boy. He's a see you later boy.
Truly getting Carly off guard. The hand's so spot on. Has
Yes.
lost it.
It is accurate. The hat angle was excellent, really good. The inflection's, I mean, let's not get crazy.
David even overdrafted from it.
Nice. Red, I knew it was Strickler as soon as I saw the puppets. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But great. Now I have to prepare my Scheukler roast.
Revenge sketch.
Now, Scheukler, let me ask you, how long have you been working on this piece?
Well, here was the funny thing. Because, I mean, we've known each other how many years now? I never even thought about it until I think it was the March Characters Welcome show.
Mm-hmm.
And I just suddenly realized I have one in my head.
What? You have a me in your head?
I had an impression. Like, it just bounced around, and I realized, like, even right away, it's like, oh, shoot, I have enough of an impression that it has a catchphrase.
Wow. And I will say, it was a very accurate that you had a sort of mask for your mouth that didn't quite stay on. Very good.
Very good.
Really, perhaps the genius move of the impression.
Yeah. Truly, the only way to one up that is if you had a small child nearby to hand it to.
running in the background, muting and then coming back.
Yeah.
That's the true Justin impression. Well, I feel yes, you can make a new beard with your sourdough starter. Yes, let's definitely get in a place where people are doing impressions of my character, like making fun of me by just doing stuff that I do.
That is a pretty solid place to be in life. You know,
Yeah.
You must be so proud.
I'm honored, truly.
Genuinely, that was fantastic, Troy. That was really great.
And you get the deep dive into the other aspects of my life. I do a comic book podcast called Comic Book Club that Schweikler also attends, and got me there in a lot of good ways. Cristal won there. Is this the first time someone's done an impression of Justin? Perhaps.
To this degree, I think so.
Yeah.
I
mean, surely there's
on
light
screen with you. Yeah. But every time Eric is on screen with you, you both are the same person.
We do drive. I mean, this is no joke. When we were in LA a couple weeks ago and we were in the same rectangle, I was like, oh my God, we've spent too much time together. Our voices are becoming one.
More.
It was crazy. Claxton Smith now do an impression of me coming up.
Great.
Coming up, Claxton. Send us 3 things about you and we will get you.
And it'll happen. That's kind of how some of our, and by our I mean your greatest characters came about. I don't think Lulu is in chat right now, but famously gave the $69 donation that made Hartney create a newly vaxxed top back on Grindr.
Yes,
which is
one
of the funniest things.
I mean, Hartney's big, especially in the last few years, big on reaction character pieces. He is like, this bothers me. I'm coming for it on this.
Right. Which he just did, where the pretentious author tries character comedy, which was just at the last live show here in New York. I'll drop a link for that video here. Very.
That's an older piece of his that brought back, and I feel like it hit really hard.
That's right. Yeah, that whole show was nothing but the B-sides, if I'm not mistaken.
B-sides, yes. I was bummed to have missed that.
I went out of town for 4 days in LA and ended up being away for over 2 weeks.
Right. Well, when the Vatican gets its
Vatican
claws in you.
calls. Yeah, exactly. I got to get back there because actually a lot of the Cardinals were talking about the burrito fucking incident when I was there.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah. They.
oh, strictly, you can't handle the heat.
They can tell the future. Sorry, they can tell the future.
Burrito
Sure.
fucking just really got him real hot.
You got it. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the kind of
bro.
thing that really lights them up.
The
They're
key is to let it
debating
cool
it
in your
the
car for 3 to 6 minutes.
You can tell they're going to release the extra fire smoke when they've settled the burrito fucking issue.
And that's the furthest heat level they go. They will not do Diablo sauce.
Yeah,
No, they can't.
they don't tell you what they're cooking on top of that smoke. It's like that they're smoking a bunch of tortillas in there.
Yeah, they're just having a sick barbecue in there. The first
All
couple days.
Hispanic cardinal.
Yeah.
When hold on, when Schleugler took the white shirt off with the green around you look like the Joker. Those are Joker colors. Am I mistaken?
No, he's full Joker. And let me say, Joker, what, you couldn't handle the being in Justin wardrobe for longer than a couple minutes? Too much pressure?
Too much.
Too much heat?
I just have to be me.
Wow. Great.
Yep.
Great
Yeah.
stuff. Schleugler, is there anything you would like to plug before we let you go?
And that's what I have to plug.
Wow. Well, just a quick moment of silence from the Shoik. Well, you still do BYOT?
I have not been doing BYOT much. I did start doing Liquid Courage.
Liquid Courage. Yeah.
And I was able to do it in April because they moved it to Sunday. And it's like, well, I couldn't do it Saturdays because I'm working, but I've now lost that job, so I can do this month's.
Hey, great, terrible news.
Great.
Tell us what Liquid Courage is for those of us that may not know.
It's a monthly character open mic, or not character, sketch open mic at UCB, one Saturday a month. It had started at the old UCB as a weekly show Friday at midnight.
Yes.
And it was actually the show I got my start on back in 2012.
Wow. Liquid
wow.
Courage back at the old theater on the theater on 23rd Street was legendary place where people tried out a bunch of insane bits. That and School Night were where a lot of like Herald teams would practice and perform. A lot of character pieces in the very early stages of character. The character's welcome would go to Liquid Courage, things like that. Very fun show to do if you just want to throw some stuff up on a great stage.
Yeah,
and we got beer at the theater. The true Liquid Courage is there.
It's true. Yeah, you haven't been since we got the old alcohol license finally.
Can't wait. Everyone's gonna be wasted.
Just fucking gone, my dude. Yeah, huge news for anybody in the city who were like, I can't handle comedy sober. We now sell beer and wine and canned margaritas, which are better than you think they have any right to be.
Yeah, of course. Everyone's perfecting that. They used to be the worst thing, but I mean, the UCB also really used to truck in buzz balls, which
Jesus Christ.
Remember buzz? You've had buzz balls.
Yeah, I remember.
Now.
But yeah, they moved on to a slightly fancier canned cocktails.
Yeah.
But speaking of slightly fancier, this is a show. The show's over. We've done it.
The show's
we've
done.
perfected it. We've peaked. Just a couple things to plug on the characters welcome, and we have our next live shows at the end of this month on May 30th at the UCB Theater in New York at 9 p.m. Please come check that out. You can come in person if you're in the New York or tri-state, or like drive across Delaware, for God's sakes. Let's get here.
Let's do it. Just do it.
Or you can live stream it from with the safety of your South American penthouse, your free ocean yacht, or your hidden bunker underneath a Hawaiian island we haven't even heard of yet. So please check out those live streams. I'm talking to Mark Zuckerberg specifically with that one. Huge fan. He's a huge fan of us.
Huge fan.
Yeah, definitely Zuckerberg, not me. I do not have a bunker under a volcano. Nope.
No, definitely not our guy Schleugler. And if you did, you would know he's there because there would be puppets on the wall. Thank you all for being here, both in the rectangles, Dajan, Schleugler, Kevin Wilcox, my guy Jorge, best tech in the biz, joining me as hosting. We will be back next week. We're here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Please come back. Thanks for all the comments in the chat. What a great crew. Everyone was very hype. Love to see it. Check out our Discord where we hang out basically all day talking about almost anything. And if you like roasting of me and Eric, that's a great place to go. So please come hang out there. It happens a lot. It's sort of the main occupation of several of the channels on the Discord. But we will be back next week. Have a great week, everybody. See you. It is the weather's getting better. It's that time of year. Have some fun. We'll see y'all real soon.
It's sweating weather. Bye.
I am the impression.